Hello and welcome to today's episode of Taekwondo Life Magazine Live. I'm Master Marc Zirogiannis. I'm your host. I am the editor-in-chief of Taekwondo Life Magazine. We're a member of the Believe Network. Do you believe? Today we are breaking down days 2 and 3 of the Taekwondo in the Olympics. Very interesting and exciting matches. Um, some upsets, some drama, some excitement. We'll talk about all of that. I want to talk a little bit about the state of play. I want to talk about the commentating and how NBC is handling everything. I have some thoughts on that, on the great Chairman Nelson. But before we do that, let's take a word from our sponsor, BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive your 50% free bet of up to $250 on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, you can head over to their online casino. You can play poker, blackjack, or 150. They got 150 slot games. So a lot of fun. Head over to the website today and get in on the action. Use the promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. Their website is www.betonline.ag. Get that 50% bonus of $250 as your first bet credit. Bet online. The game starts here. That's somebody handing you $250. I would take it. Day one was a day of upsets, excitement and upsets. Skylar Park from Canada eliminated in the preliminary round by Korea's Yoo-Jin Kim. You had Faith Dillon, a newcomer, her first time in the Olympics. But if you've been following it, she really has hit the scene hard. She's done really well. And there was a real belief that this was going to be a significant event for her. She did great. She had a respectable showing, but she got eliminated in the preliminary round. And then one of the all-time favorites in female Taekwondo from Great Britain, Jade Jones, got eliminated in the preliminaries as well. Now, going forward into the repechage match, as I butcher that, which I should get better at saying it right because it is so significant in this Olympics, and you'll hear why, particularly in this situation. So you had Faith Dillon had an opportunity, and let's see, repechage. I'll work on it, I promise. Faith Dillon had an opportunity to come back and was not able to successfully do that. Jade Jones didn't have that opportunity, but Skylar Park did and was quite successful, ended up winning a bronze medal. She's a beloved daughter of Canada. She's extremely highly regarded, not only because of her acumen and her agility and her physical prowess, but because of the fact that she's just such a respectable person in the way that she behaves and conducts herself. So congratulations to Canada and Skylar Park on another medal for them and for her. Perhaps the most iconic moment of the day. Again, I talked about the fact that Taekwondo as an Olympic sport, those of us that are Taekwondo practitioners, we have the opportunity to watch our sport. But for those that are not familiar with it, it's our opportunity to expose ourselves and our art and how we're different from other sports. And nothing was more evident and more properly put that on display than the exciting victory from Thailand's Panikom Compatano Kit, and I apologize for butchering the name, who in the under 49 kilogram female category went on to win her third gold medal, making her one of the winningest women in Taekwondo history, Olympic history. And in celebration and adoration of her coach, Coach Young Suk Choi, who is the head of the national team for Thailand. She did what Koreans are very familiar with. I don't know if it's done in Thailand, but she performed the big bow on television and he performed back to her. It was really, really a beloved, iconic, memorable moment and something that I think those that have never seen it get to really understand that our sport and our art is different because of the elements of courtesy and respect. And now a word from our sponsor. Okay, we are back. Heading into, obviously there was a lot more going on, but in day two, from the U.S.'s perspective, it was certainly a big day. The most dynamic, exciting, most anticipated, and probably the biggest favorite for the U.S. C.J. Nicholas was due to fight in the under 80 kilogram division, and Christina Teachout, a up and coming 18-year-old who I watched fight for that spot at team trials last year. Really, really dynamic newcomer, part of that fabulous four: Faith Dillon, C.J. Nicholas, Christina Teachout, and Jonathan Healy. C.J. Nicholas had a really, really dynamic start, moved from the preliminaries into the quarters, from the quarters into the semis, and really, really looked sharp and terrific. He had a very challenging semifinal match against Tunisia. Tunisia is just on fire at this Olympics when it comes to Taekwondo. They really, really are doing well. There was a little controversy at the end of the first round. The score was 0-0. Tunisia ended up winning by superiority, but there was some little bit of confusion over whether or not the ref had put his arm down early with some time left on the clock and then asked for a review of whether or not Tunisia, when I watched it, and I think other people that watched it thought the ref was put his arm down, time was not done, was going to give the gamjang to Tunisia for avoiding. I felt he was turning his back and running out. That gamjang would have awarded that round to CJ because there was really virtually no time left. The referee didn't do that. He actually called Kuman with a little time on the clock and pulled his card to see if the Tunisian player was out of bounds, which he clearly was not if you look at the video. But I was a little surprised by that call. I think the coaches were a little surprised by that call. And of course, that was denied because his foot was in the air at the time that the arm was down. However, there was no gamjang given for avoiding. And on the issue of superiority, Tunisia won. Tunisia then went on to win the second round, eliminating CJ. And he moved on, of course, to the bronze medal round. In moving on to the bronze medal round, he fought a fight against somebody that he's had a long-standing history of battling back and forth with, Simone Alessi of Italy, who is just a giant. He just towers over CJ. CJ does a great job trying to manage it, but he was just not. It just wasn't his day. He wasn't successful and got eliminated without a medal. Christina Teachout fought extremely, extremely well. She was extremely energetic and exciting. As I said earlier, Christina really did a phenomenal job getting her way to the Olympics. She's young. I don't think she's as experienced as some of the other fighters, but she is a scrapper. She made her way out of the preliminaries into the quarterfinals. She ended up being eliminated, and then when she made her way to the bronze, to the repechage fight for the bronze, she really, really displayed strength and character. She fought in Ivory Coast's Ruth um, Bagabi, and she really, really showed tremendous um, fortitude and in defeating her and going on to win a bronze medal for the United States and obviously for herself. And it was extremely, extremely exciting. Um, she had the love and the support of obviously of her teammates, and it was really, really exciting to watch, and certainly well deserved. This whole USA squad um, is filled with people that have great character. And I think we'll be seeing again and again because they're also young. This team is extremely young. Other great matches today, of course. There's always going to be some controversies. Always going to be things that are questionable, things that can be. But I will tell you this: really, really, in my opinion, fun to watch. I think a lot of people felt the low point for Taekwondo in the Olympics was 2016, working out a lot of the issues of electronics. I don't feel that that's the case. I think the rules are solid and encourage good dynamic play. There's great athleticism. The venue was terrific. I think the commentating, NBC's commentating, of course, the great input of Sherman Nelson was great. I think the commentators from NBC, together with Sherman, did a great job of being able to help people that don't always watch Taekwondo, perhaps sit and watch Taekwondo match and understand easily what the scoring is, who was winning, what was going on, what some of the backstories are. And I found that really, really interesting to watch. Again, there are some naysayers. I see some of the comments from people saying, oh, this isn't old school Taekwondo. No, it isn't. And it's about time that those folks that are, I've been around. When I say those folks, I include myself. I've been around from the days of shocking, trembling shock, when there wasn't any electronics, and the only way you were going to win a match was either to knock somebody out or to be able to give enough trembling shock to be able to make sure that those referees could hear and see the force of your power. That isn't the game today, but the athletes are terrific, and I've been front and center. It's dynamic, it's exciting, it's athletic, and I think it's just going to get better and better. Tomorrow will be the winding down of the Olympics, basically, and the winding down of the Taekwondo in the Olympics. Jonathan Healy from the U.S. will fight in the largest division, the highest division, 80 kilograms plus. We will see how he does. We'll report on that, and we'll give a wrap up of where Taekwondo in the Olympics stands, who's done well, who hasn't. Korea seems to have done well. It's, as I talked about earlier, some of the surprising knockouts early on, but there have been some comebacks. Tunisia, I saw doing well. Italy doing well. So we shall see what the statistics and facts show. But I look forward to it. I encourage you to watch the matches. NBC Sports YouTube channel has some great recaps of the matches with the commentating. Really worth watching. I've enjoyed it, spending hours and hours looking at some of the calls. This is Master Mark. I look forward to seeing you on the mat, and this episode is brought to you by Bet Online.